Hey y'all, iRix Guy here. Now you've probably seen my previous video where I unboxed the new Terra F2-NAS2. If you haven't, check the link within this video's description, you can see that. But what I'm going to do within this video is actually set this up. So I'm going to step you through the ease of installation. And it's got a quick start guide here. It says hardware installation, software installation, search and link the device, system initialization, start to use. So the first thing we do is put in hard drives. These are 3.5 inch serial ATA hard drives. I went with 4 terabyte, also referred to as 4,000 gigabyte. You could go with other capacities if you chose to do so as well, but I wanted to go with 4 terabyte. I'm just going to pop this front open, do one bay at a time here. And you're going to need to make sure when you put this in that these connectors are facing towards the back, because that's where where the connectors inside of this bay reside. We're going to need a screwdriver here, just a Phillips head computer screwdriver. Actually, what may work easier with this is just taking this out all the way. And then putting this over the drive. Huh, well, that's interesting. Maybe I don't even have to use the bar. Yeah, it looks like I don't. Okay, so this is in 4K Ultra HD, so if you have a 4K Ultra HD TV or a computer monitor, be sure to crank it up and you can see all of this in the full detail. And then what we're going to do, also in the box, there were extra screws. So we're going to take 2 of those out because there's place for 4 screws on this mounting sled. There we go. Okay, so that's hard drive number 1. And if you check the link within this video's description, not only can you find the Terra master, but I'll also list the exact hard drive that I used for this build. So now what we're going to do before we insert, we're just going to look and make sure that's right. So you can see those connectors, the power and the serial ATA connector. And if you look in the back, you'll see those on the back on the same side. So this is correct. So you just slide it in, and you'll feel it make connection, and then you just close that latch like that. Now we're going to do the same thing with the second hard drive. If you wanted to use one hard drive in this, you could, but I'm using two. And this is the same hard drive. Well, not the same, but the same size and same type. So I got two of these, two of a kind. And they left us an extra screw in case we happen to need one. And also some sort of little pin pusher tool. But now all we do is slide this in. Obviously in the bay below. Oops. It's bizarre. This one's not wanting to. Let's see. Let me double check. It's not wanting to match up. It's definitely. They're definitely in that corner down there. says hard disk drive 2. Let's see if the first hard drive would go in that bottom slot. And it's having the same problem. So let's see if this second hard drive will go in the top slot. Okay, now let's try this again. There we go. So it wasn't a problem with it. It's just, and I'll demonstrate again, that's a common mistake you may have. When you slide it there, it's only going to go that far. But then when you push this, it locks it down. So that was user error on my behalf, problem solved. Don't let that freak you out. That was user error, not a problem with the product. So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to take this sticker off. So anytime you start using something, if it warms up, it could cause sticker residue to stay, and I don't like that. So that's perfect, came right off, no sticker residue. And just so you know what I'm going to do here, basically I'm going to plug in I've got a network, so I'm going to plug in my network cable. And not going to use USB or eSATA because I'm going to use strictly as a NAS, so a network accessible device. And then I'm going to plug in the included power. So this right here is the power. I'm going to plug this in. And then obviously your power cable that goes into this. So plug that into that. So now let me take this under my desk, plug it into the network, and let's shift to the computer display because I want you to see what I see the first time I access this by way of the network. And we're going to go through the configuration first time setup. Okay, so now the Terra Master is plugged into my network and it's powered on. Obviously I've already installed the drives as you saw just a moment ago. So now what I've done is browse to start.terra-master.com. That's what the address was that was included within the device. So now we're going to simply select our model, which is F2-NAS2. Do start now. And it's telling us what we've already done to assemble to put the hard drives in, connect it to the network, power it on. So I've done all that. Download the user manual. T-Cloud software. So I'm a Mac user. If you use PC, this would be, obviously you'd select Windows, but I'm using Mac, so I'm going to select Mac. So it's downloading the T-Cloud software now. So now you see it's found the device, and obviously it's found the IP because it was obtained by DHCP, I assume. So now we're going to LAN icon. Now it's brought me to this page, and the address is just the IP address of the device. So with that being said, it would be possible if you knew the IP, you may be able to get to this without installing the software. So what we're going to do is set device name. This is the initial setup. I hit upgrade. I guess it wants me to upgrade the software first. That's nice that it found that. Let's see. Current version. Okay, so it says I'm running the latest version. So let's go back. And let's hit next. But it's like it's not letting me select next. It's saying upgrade is the only selectable option. And it confirmed that I was running the most current software. So let's refresh this page. So maybe we just have to wait a minute because it says here, it says self-examination. Okay. Okay, so now, so that was a learning curve. It was doing something with the hard drive. So now I should be able to hit next. And okay, that works. So I can call this whatever. This is how it'll appear on the network, and I'll just call it. I will call it Epic NAS, just because it's really big NAS. And now I can enter a password. You can choose your time zone, whatever you would want it to be. And since I'm in Mississippi right now, I'm going to say Chicago. And I like month, day, year, and 12 hour instead of 24. That's just completely up to you. And you can set the time and date for whatever it is. Or you can say synchronize with time.windows.com, and that's what I'm going to do. Use the dynamic IP address, that's what I'll do. And here you can choose the services that run. I would not want Telnet. I'm not going to use iSCSI. Samba for Windows, I could use that. FTP, I don't really know why I would want to use that if I'm using this with a Mac. So I think I want the AFP. Being able to secure a shell into it, that could be beneficial. And then the NFS for Unix. I guess I could enable the iTunes. So I think that ought to about do me there. So we got a few options here. We've got single disk, group RAID 1, or linear disk. So let's see. One of the RAIDs is redundancy. Let's see, let me just do a quick check. Okay, so RAID 0 would split data evenly across 2 physical disks. So I mean, that's not going to back up your data, so if one of the two drives failed, you would be in a bad situation, but that's how I want it to be. I'm not going to store anything too important on this NAS. So I'm going to do a RAID 0. I selected both hard drives. I'm going to hit next. Obviously, before you proceed, if there was any data on those hard drives, you would want to make sure it was backed up first. These are brand new hard drives without any data, so I'm okay to continue. So I hit OK. And then I hit complete. And it says the disk group is being created. And this probably will take a while because it, as I'd mentioned earlier, I have two 4 terabyte disks. But you can see here, you can see a percentage indicator. But also, if you look at the NAS device itself, you'll see the 2 hard disk indicator lights flashing, indicating that it is working. So you'll definitely know it's not locked up. So I have no idea how long this may take. I've never used this before, so I'm going to fast forward the video. Okay, so the initialization of the hard drive is finally completed, and it does take a while. So be prepared to step away. I mean, it could take an hour or so. But once that completes, then you should be able to access it from your device. In my case, I'm using a Mac. Now I've got gigabit Ethernet, just with Cat5e cabling. So let's do a file copy here. I've got a file that's quite large. So let's go ahead and copy it over to the NAS, and let's see what kind of transfer rate we get here. So you can see here, this is a 94.94 gig, and at the time of speaking, it's already copied half a gig. And this is just going from an iMac with Retina display, which obviously has gigabit Ethernet, to the Terra Master. So you can see it's quite fast. I mean, for a device attached to the network attached storage, we've already, since I started this file copy, it's already copied almost 2 gigs. So this ought to give you an idea of the speed. So if you're looking for an affordable way to add network attached storage to your home or to your office, I feel that this is a great solution. As you saw within this video, the setup process was quite straightforward. So again, check the link within this video's description. You can find where to order it online, as well as more videos and photos. And be sure to subscribe, youtube.com/IRIXGuy. Y'all have a good day.